Hi guys, welcome to 4.6 Savage. Now today I want to talk to you about some fundamentals for swapping V6 to V8. This applies to only the 96 through 98 years, and this also applies only to the 4.6 engine. I do not know what has to be done to a 4 or for a 5.0. I do, however, know what it takes. Now this one here, Rose and It were 97s. You want a donor card that is the same year as your vehicle. And it's the best because everything works and lines up the same. With that being said, you have you can get other models, but they may have slight changes. I don't know. First off on our list of what you need to change is the engine. You have to change the engine. You also have to change fuel lines. You have to change, if you are keeping your AC, you have to change receiver dryer and AC lines. Condenser can stay the same, and so can the compressor comes with your engine. That being said, next is the engine harness, which is a 42 connector, which is under here. I would open my hood for you, but I have an engine crane and I don't feel like opening the door. That engine harness goes underneath here, and it is this wire, which is bolted to the CCRM right here. The CCRM must be changed as well. That controls your fan and among other things. So this harness goes into the interior of the vehicle, as you can see right here. This goes straight to your ECU. This must be changed, and so must your ECU. Your ECU will be changed. And from there, now, I've heard a lot of things of a dash harness. I am not sure what they meant by dash harness. I'm going to be completely honest with you. My full intention when I got this vehicle was to swap dashes. So anything that was a dash harness came when I swapped the dashes. Now, when I deleted my cruise control, and as you can see, I stuck it up here, but I'm gonna have to find a different place for it. But all in all, this was the only that was the real only harness I had to change. Now, when it comes down to it, the other thing you have to change, and I'll show you in a minute as soon as I get to the passenger side, is the anti-theft module. Or the anti-theft module, sorry. So, go back here to the trunk. It's going to be this black box. It's going to look like this. And this is only if your vehicle has the PAT system, which 97 and newer came standard with PATs. And it sits in this. It'll say anti-theft, and it'll sit in here and kind of pop on. You can see somebody broke my module beforehand, but it'll just clip into those wires, as you can see here. It'll just plug up like that, and then it'll have your antenna for your receiver, and that will control your starting. It will crank but not start if your anti-lock is messed up, or anti-theft, my bad. From there, we go into your transmission has to be changed, and so does your drive shaft. Your drive shaft has to come with the vehicle that had the V8. This is because the V6 4R70 and the V8 4R70 are two different transmissions. The bell housings and the tail shaft splines are different. The drive shaft or the V8 has to match the transmission it's with, because it will not slide into a V6 engine, transmission. So, now the other things for the swap, it is not given that you have to use a GT rear end. GT rear ends are better though. They are better because they are 8.8. They are stronger. And I've heard of a lot of people snapping the 7.5s with the power of the V8. So honestly, if you have the rear end, like I did, go ahead and swap it. My rear end had 410s in it, and it already had pretty much everything rebuilt within it. That's what I did when beforehand. But any new part that goes in like that, like say you get one out of the junkyard, I would go ahead and rip it apart, put new spider gears, axles in it, if you have the money for that. If not, just slap it up in there, and when the time comes, you can redo it, depending on how your budget. Now, basically, that's really all you need. It's really simple. The problem is just getting it all done. You know, it's time consuming, and if something messes up, you have to go through it and refigure everything out. Now, that's going to be all for this video. So remember, like and subscribe, and remember,